NCTV. Sunday is Valentine's Day, and love is in the air at Natrona County High School. Roses, carnations, and valentines and other treats are being flown around the school. For our first story today, we have a special gift that was given to Jeannie Lundahl earlier today.
Chad Lohr graduated from NC in 1987, and he came in today to serenade me. He sang the theme song to The Love Boat. My husband paid him, and he was worried about walking through NC wearing his pink vest. He thought someone might kick his butt.
Singing to Jeannie, singing Valentines, singing Valentines. Yeah, so stay in school. This is what happens if you don't stay in school. You do this. If I remember, we'll see.
He goes around, he says he's got 200 Valentines to serenade, so he's really been busy, and so everyone had to come listen to him sing.
Since I dropped out of school.
Oh. Chad, dropped out. Did you come to my class and sing?
5 years ago, when I was just dating my husband, he hired Chad to come sing to me at Casper College, and classrooms stopped what they were doing and crowded into my office to listen to him and to watch me turn bright red.
Life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It flows back to you.
Today when Chad came in, I'm like, "Hey Chad, how are you? Can I help you?" And he's like, "I'm here to sing to you." And I'm like, "Okay."
Alone, soon we'll be making another run.
It's just kind of a fun thing, and Chad and I are friends, so you know, it makes it even more special that my husband would hire him to come sing for me.
It's love, welcome aboard, it's love. Woo! Happy Valentine's Day!
Can I ask you a few questions before you go?
Yeah, sure. Hold on, how's my hair?
That is so romantic. Now, here's our trivia question for today. Name this romantic movie. Hit number 1. I am based off of a book by a famous author. Number 2. I feature the actress Rachel McAdams. And number 3. I was released in 2004. Leave your answers in the comments below in order to win an awesome prize. Now for our next story. Last week's it seems like we had some technical difficulties. So, we have a cell phone policy story that was supposed to air last week and will be airing right now. So, here I am again with our cell phone policy story.
What?
In our generation, technology is everywhere. We can use all this new technology in a lot of really amazing ways. However, they can also be a really big distraction, hence the new district policy against cell phones. On page 34 of the district handbook, you can see the entire policy written out in full. Cell phones and other technology can be used in classroom settings so long as the teacher allows it. However, unauthorized use of cell phones and other technology can result in confiscation of them for the rest of the day.
Yes, if a teacher is allowing students to use cell phones and other technology in the classrooms, that's a good thing. We don't want to shut down the technology use just because we have a cell phone policy. If they're using them in a constructive manner and it works well for the classroom or the lesson or the teacher, by all means, and students, we should allow it. But when it's disruptive and the teachers have exhausted their means of trying to curb the use of students that are interrupting class, then when we come in, we'll confiscate the cell phone if they've been warned. If they haven't, sometimes we'll warn, and then we'll take the cell phone and they can pick it up at the end of the day from the campus supervisor's office. And then if it continues, we'll have parents come in to pick up the phone and have a meeting.
So what do you think about this new cell phone policy? Do you think that it's effective? Do you think it's enforced? Let us know in the comments below. Alright, well hopefully this week's episode has less technical difficulties in it. So for our next story, it's a bit more solemn. Within the past couple of days, our school has endured a tragedy that has touched us all at a really personal level. The school knows about the story of Brookes Anderson, but we are not here today to tell the story of what happened. We are here today to tell the story of hope and inspiration that the Andersons and all of our school has been a part of. Within the past week, NC has really come together to support the Andersons in their time of struggle. We hope that this story will help communicate the love that we should share for our fellow students and faculty.
I thought that was a beautiful statement made by the Andersons family, and I've probably thought about it at least once a day, every day since the services.
Oh, I thought they were amazing, and again, it was such a great service, and this is an excellent opportunity for us to be a little kinder, a little nicer, a little gentler, take a little bit more time with our loved ones, spend time with our families, do the things that make us happy, but also that we can take comfort in and slow down.
It was interesting because the second message about being kind, they kind of directly pointed at the students that they knew were going to be coming, which I thought was a wonderful opportunity to ask that of students. I think the first one was for teachers. A lot of times we get really overwhelmed with our job and grading and getting things done, and we can find ourselves not having our priorities straight sometimes, and when we let those priorities get out of whack, even though we think we're doing what's right for our students, sometimes we're not, because we're not taking care of us and our family and sort of our spiritual selves. And I really appreciated hearing that. Like, I needed to hear that message that very day. So
we say things on Twitter, we say things on Facebook that we'd never say in person. That's not okay. Yeah, love each other, be good to each other, because you can. It doesn't take any more effort. Just be good to each other.
Thank you, Mrs. Wetzel and Coach Sanders, for those touching testimonies. Now, our next story is about the recent speech and debate meet, the Mustang Classic.
So what's going on here is a speech meet. What happens here is a lot of argument.
This is called the Mustang Classic. It happens every year. Our speech and debate team, in accordance with the advisors, like the faculty here at NC, get together and they work on creating a tournament for the entire state to come and debate and participate in a tournament.
I am only a freshman, so I just started this year, but I didn't compete at all in my novice. So I just started competing just last weekend, actually.
My job here is to judge them and tell them if they did good or not, and rank them, and destroy dreams sometimes.
Right now I am doing the exempt draw, which means that I am basically allowing people or moderating people as they get questions so they can actually speak on those questions. Basically, exempt is just the idea that they're going to get 30 minutes to prepare a speech on a talk that I give them, or a topic that I give them, and that way they're kind of speaking off the cuff.
I think, especially in America, people have this fear of public speaking, and I think it comes because people, I think, are actually ashamed of their voice. And I think anyone here learns something through doing this that you can't get playing basketball or doing football, which, you know, those are always great things. Much judging here, but you learn to carry yourself and to carry your own voice, and learn that you have the self-confidence and the well-to-do to change the world. So, change the world!
Good job to all of those who participated in the Mustang Classic. Now, for our next story, we have Justin Nitze doing some parkour. Let's see how he does it.
Well, the definition of parkour is using your body in the most efficient way possible to get from point A to point B. That's the definition. So I guess what I'm doing is just, I don't know, it just seems like freeing to me. Like, that's just what comes to mind. Because, like, normally people have stress and they're worried and angry, but, like, that's just the way to get rid of that stress and anger and worry. Just clears your mind and makes you focus on, like, just the freedom of what parkour really is. The first trick I actually learned how to do was a side flip. That was like the easiest and the funnest. It was just the first thing I ever really started doing. Then I started doing fronts after that. That was about 3 years ago. And I just kind of saw it on YouTube and I was like, wow, I gotta try that. when you go to do your flip, you have to throw all of that momentum forward at the same time. And then you got to know when to untuck. So just a matter of how much you weigh at that time is just going to depend on if you can untuck fast enough. It's as difficult as you make it, honestly. Anybody can do parkour. It's just whether your brain or you are capable. If you tell yourself you can't do it, you won't be able to. But if you push yourself, you'll be able to get as far as anything.
Well, I am definitely not coordinated enough to do that. Well, our trivia answer for today was The Notebook, but since none of you are apparently the romantic movie buffs like I am, you guys didn't answer the question, so I guess we don't have a winner for our trivia today. Thank you for watching the Valentine's Day episode of NCTV, and we hope to see you back next week, straight from the Mustang, or in this case, Philly's mouth.
If I remember, we'll see. Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. And love, life's sweetest reward. Let it flows back to you. The love promises something for everyone. The love, soon we'll be making another run. Set your mind on an adventure, your heart on a true romance.
This is from my husband.
And love,
What? This is from my husband.
won't